It was a night like any other in the small town of Clarksburg, West Virginia, when the unthinkable happened. A single gunshot echoed through the quiet streets, shattering the calm of the early spring evening. By dawn, a community would be forever altered, and the mystery of that single bullet would unfold into a chilling, unsolved case that still haunts residents to this day. The victim was 24-year-old Julie Kaufman, known to her friends as a bright light in their lives. A dedicated veterinary technician, Julie had a passion for animals that drove her to help both pets and their owners with unwavering commitment. She was vibrant, loved the outdoors, and often spent weekends hiking the scenic trails surrounding the town. Thriving on the friendships she had cultivated, Julie was a beloved daughter and a cherished friend. The last person anyone imagined could be a target for violence. On April 24, 2015, Julie had returned home from a long day at work. Her day had been typical, filled with checkups and helping distressed pet owners. There had been no hint of the horror that awaited her that night. After she arrived home around 10 p.m., she settled in for an evening of relaxation, perhaps watching a movie or chatting with friends online. But just after midnight, a neighbor reported hearing a loud argument coming from Julie's apartment. Minutes later, the sound of the gunshot rang out. When the police arrived, they found Julie lifeless on her living room floor. She had suffered a single gunshot wound to the head. There was no sign of forced entry, raising immediate questions about who could have committed such a horrifying act against her. Friends and family were devastated. Who would want to kill this kind, vibrant woman? Detectives began their investigation, piecing together the previous hours of Julie's life. They interviewed friends, family, and coworkers, seeking any clues to explain the motive behind her murder. They learned that Julie had been dating a man named John, a relationship marked by both passion and tension. While many spoke highly of him, there were also whispers of jealousy and heated arguments. Was this love turned lethal? Detectives took the necessary steps to investigate John, but as they dug deeper, they found no concrete evidence linking him to the crime. He was cooperative, even distraught, claiming he had been with friends the night of the shooting. The investigation seemed to stall. Days turned into weeks, and the frustration mounted. Investigators turned to another avenue. They pursued Julie's social media, scanning her accounts for any hint of threatening messages or strange interactions. What they discovered was a series of online disputes stemming from her social connections. Julie was vocal about her beliefs and wasn't afraid to engage in heated debates. These debates sometimes attracted unwanted attention, but they couldn't connect any of this back to her murder. As the summer wore on, Julie's case took a bizarre twist. In December, nearly 8 months after her death, an anonymous letter arrived at the local police station, claiming the author knew details of the murder that had not been made public. The writer requested anonymity in exchange for information about the shooting, which sent the police into a frenzy. Had they finally found a breakthrough in this chilling case? The letter detailed a supposed love triangle involving Julie, John, and another unnamed individual. The writer claimed that jealousy had reached a boiling point, leading to the fatal confrontation. Investigators were skeptical as they traced the letter back to its source. It led them to a local resident who had been known to have had disputes with Julie over social media. But as the investigation deepened, the trail grew cold once more. The claims lacked any solid evidence. Months passed. The anguish of a small town affected by such a significant loss remained palpable. The Kaufman family, torn apart by grief, campaigned tirelessly for justice. Julie's mother, Sheila, became a voice for the unsolved cases of missing and murdered women, sharing her daughter's story at rallies. But then, in 2019, there was a breakthrough. A new detective assigned to the case discovered files from the local CDC that showed a spike in firearm violence that year, a possible link to Julie's murder. They managed to acquire surveillance footage from nearby businesses, but it was grainy and the quality poor. The question loomed, did it show anyone leaving her apartment that night? They needed more time and resources to fully exploit this lead. With support from within the community and online platforms, the Kaufman family pushed for a renewed focus on Julie's murder. New evidence and technology can change the dynamics of cold cases, they believed. In 2021, Julie's case was officially classified as a cold case. This classification came with a new reopen of investigations. The community rallied support, fundraising for advances in forensic technology. Debates over funding for cold cases grew louder. To this day, Julie Kaufman's case remains unsolved, and the weight of unanswered questions continues to press on the hearts of her family and friends. Who was responsible for that single gunshot that claimed her life? Every year on the anniversary of her death, they gather, holding candles and sharing memories. Yet business as usual continues without the closure they so desperately need. And with each passing year, the chilling question stays. How many more secrets lie buried in the shadows of unsolved cases, waiting for a voice, waiting for truth? The clock ticks on, and though hope may dim, the pursuit of justice remains eternal. If justice failed Julie Kaufman, how many others suffer the same fate in silence?